and good day to everyone, and it's my pleasure that we are together these days, and I hope that we will have enough time to exchange our experiences in the classical music level. So I'm theater producer, and my professional experiences are in the relations with the institutions. Last 10 years I'm working in Kolarac. You will hear something about Kolarac later, and before that it was public cultural centers in Belgrade, as well as tourism organization in Belgrade in the past. So maybe I'll start now with the point of this panel. So we can agree in general that coronavirus post-pandemic has been a challenge for everyone in different sectors, in the culture especially. The COVID crisis has affected all levels of society, economically, culturally, publicly, and privately. And also I think that we can agree that three remaining questions that have been asked of the cultural institutions with these new working conditions are: how to maintain programs, ensembles, and how much we are ready to remain our programs through digital media. How to maintain contact with the audience and keep them during the corona and in the future, and how to ensure the financial stability of the institutions, having in mind the status of the institutions. In our cultural policy, that means that we have two types of institutions. It's governmental institutions, and they have all support, 100 support for everything: programs, salaries, infrastructure, renovation of the object or whatever. And then on the second corner is the NGO sector, so non-government institutions, and they apply for the programs, salaries, and everything through the concourse. So the Kolarac is an example of non-governmental institution. And the corona challenge for culture sector especially was for the Kolarac in last until the end of 20,000. I think that a lot of people here in the venue knows some details about our programs, but in shortly I have to say for other panelists and our guests in the Zoom. From the beginning, our mission is to organize classical music concert, and everyone knows Kolarac, especially as a concert venue. But we organize lectures on the concept of traditional lifelong learning in all fields of natural and social sciences, conduct foreign language classes, promote foreign arts, culture, science, through various activities aiming to all different audience group. But we have focused now on the concert, and that means that we have the main concert venue, which is a great hall with 883 seats, small music hall, we call it music gallery, then different working spaces, classrooms, smaller places with the different capacities for the master classes, and different educational programs. Financially, financial concept of the Kolarac is that we have 70% our own income from the ticket sales. We rented our concert hall, other places. We organize different conferences, educational program. 10% are income from the sponsors, and 20% the project money when we apply for some project here in the country, Belgrade, or abroad EU projects as well. So that was before Corona, and what's happened to Kolarac due to Corona crisis. 168 concert programs were cancelled. More than 120 other programs were cancelled. Some programs were deferred. 30 million dinars less revenue in its own budget that we planned in to 2020. The city competition for cultural projects has been cancelled, and that was the start of our
2019.
Yes. What is the further survival and existence of the institutions? We ask ourselves, what did we do about it, and how we can find the help. So, the next slide is we try to find help from our audiences, existing and new audiences, as private donations. It was very interesting after 1 month of campaign, messages, mails, informations to the audience who are buyers of season tickets. Individuals, mainly the ones that normally pay the whole season in advance, had decided to give donations weekly, usually as much as they would set outside for concerts in normal conditions. So it was between 5 and 20 euros, as it is regular prices for smaller or biggest concert events. And it was very interesting for us. So there was a people who was in isolations, and they have a budget for this week, 5 or 20 euros, they pay to Kolarac. The second moment was the audience private donation. The second, we every day, 3 times per day, send mails, send letters to the government, city government, republic government, Ministry of Culture, and that is happened until December to the end, after 8 months. We make a new contact with the companies and cultural funds, potential donors and sponsors, and new and old one, and try to find a way for the cooperation during the Corona and after Corona. So we tried to increase the media intentions, and that was very important because someone here for us, and here we are, and we are making media campaign through social networks, electronic media, daily news, because we was afraid that we will close our institutions if we don't have any help, or if we cannot organize our programs and regular activities. So YouTube channel, Slušajte Kolarac, listen to Kolarac. Our lectures and concert program as well from our archive helped us during these situations. And after 2 weeks, we had more than 1,000 visitors per week. So final results was donations from all partners and new companies, individual donations, great support of artists, ensembles from their country and abroad, and finally financial help from Ministry of Culture from Corona Crisis Fund, something new at the end of the year, and that was the moment when we started to live in the next season and next year. But I think the most important thing in all this is that you started about Kolarac. Why the people, our audience, individuals, companies, after that media as well, and after that the Ministry of Culture helped us. Because Kolarac is a brand. Kolarac is a brand in classical music. Our history and the highest level of the classical music performances are something which is well known. Capability, diversity, our users, our personality of people who comes on the concert events, our mission and vision, values, and emotion that we exchange during our programs are something what give us some new energy after all, after new continuity. So, and it's very important that we are working last 82 or 5 years, and that that is very important for the institutions of course, any other brand to have very well-known activities, vision, program, so on. And how to cope after all the irregular conditions. I think that our final things that we recognized after all is that we have to respect our audience through the direct contact with each one of them and find them everywhere they are, not only in our concert hall, social networks, SMS, I don't know, maybe some of them likes to have some New Year greetings after all, so on. That making long-term development strategy is very important because our focus was in our past and tradition, but on the vision mostly during the campaign. Start to rethink strategy, create a new branding, including the new initiative in the program sector, and keep attention from the sponsors and donators, how to share with them the same values. Because I think that sponsors, they exactly know what they want from you.
Well, I'm sure that you also know very exactly what you want from sponsors.
I didn't know in start, but step by step you recognize finally. That's not, sometimes it's not the first day or first contact or first meeting. Sometimes it's happened 2 years after, but they know that they're watching us. And visibility, respect, belonging to a particular group that shares the same values is something that I recognize the sponsors as let me know, and that means it was hard working, but finally we have some results. And I think that now in the new strategy, the new process and growing of the Kolarac means that we must have in our mind different levels, different conversations, communications with everyone, everywhere, and we have to believe to each other and share the same values. That's it's easy to say, but it's very hard if you you have your goals and you must finalize your program season and find financial support for all. So I'm not. I think that now we are thinking when we want to create a new season, mostly about our audience. The season before Corona approximately means that we have 600 people per concert in concert hall. Now we started 2 months before with regular concert season and that security systems in the seats. We have approximately 80 people in the concert hall. I think that the people are still afraid about pandemic situations. They're not still open to communicate in the concert hall.
But even they were open, if they were open, you could only admit like 250 people in the hall with all the measures employed.
However, there is no receipt for the development in the next time, including all aspects during the COVID-19. In order to develop an active community, we need to experiment, exchange experience, and find new solutions. Nevertheless, using strategic thinking and creative approach to get closer to an audience in the sign that we are definitely going to right way. And I think that this conference is very important for me because I can hear another panelists.